My Uncle Herbert. My Uncle Herbert, the dirty old pervert, he'd buy loads of sherbet and sweet popping candy. He'd pour it all on his excited hard-on, and when all this was done, he would feel really randy. He'd boil up a kettle, made out of fine metals and covered in nettles to finish the task. The nettles would sting, and he'd clench up his ring, and he'd pour the old thing while he'd wear a dog mask. His poor one-eyed tackle would fizzle and crackle. He'd howl like a jackal till this thing was done. He'd fill up a teepee with poo-poo and wee-wee. With porn on his TV, he'd have lots of fun. The neighbours would hear, and they'd think it quite queer, and they'd sit there in fear as they called up for help. The cops would implore that they called him no more, as he'd been times before, but they'd not heard a yelp. Herbert, unabated, became more X-rated. He then copulated with lizards and frogs. He'd howl like a dragon, sit on a toy wagon, and put a black bag on his head, call it fog. All this would be done with a fish up his bum, till he'd messily come with a grunt and a groan. And then after this he'd let out a quick hiss, and he'd have a big piss, and his mum would go home.